Anything beats a zero.
We make everything look good, including being overweight. So, scientifically, you cannot drink alkaline water and it makes your cells alkalytic.
The closer you are to nature, the healthier you'll be.
Happy Saturday. I am Carolyn Gentle, and you are in the Mind of Nature, hosted by Dr. Zarif, the nutritionist. Thank you all so much for being here today. Happy Saturday. Please, as you're coming in, please go ahead and share the live. We are streaming on Facebook, we are on YouTube, and we are on Instagram. So please go ahead and share the live. That would be greatly appreciated. And when you've shared it, let me know. Put it in the comments so I can shout you out. Thank you all again so much for being here. We're going to be discussing hidden sugars. Hidden sugars and sneaky sweeteners, the hidden dangers of protein powder. I know everybody trying to, bulk up, but we're going to talk about that. What's in your multivitamins and minerals? Also discussing, does your law protect your health? So those are all great topics. Again, thank you all so much for joining us here today. Share the live. Again, we're streaming on Facebook, on YouTube, and on Instagram. I'm going to have Dr. Zarif join me here so we can get started. Dr. Zarif, Grand Rising.
Grand Rising, everyone, and thank you very much, Carrie. This has been a really wonderful week. We had a week of more of a celebration of holiday kind of vibe. So we know that also this is a perfect time to test some of our strength or restraint against the um, different things that we are used to choosing, the things that we're used to eating. So, congratulations to those of you that are making those steps and you're feeling better, you're doing better. Physically, you're just really feeling like you haven't felt in a long time. You're feeling great, and that's a one of the displays of and results of those people that change from one way of living or their eating lifestyle to what it develops into. And everybody would have a different idea of what's delicious and what is useful for them. But when it comes down to the facts, when it comes down to the science of it all, that's what we're here for, so that you can make a very informed decision. Okay, so as Karen shared with you earlier today, what we're going to do, we're going to talk about some of the disguised nutrients or disguised ingredients. And sometimes the chemicals are disguised as nutrients. So we want to get away from that convolution and see if we can clear it up a little bit for you. So before I start, I do want to invite you all out to Mount Tabor Missionary Baptist Church at 6614 Western Avenue in Los Angeles, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. But it is not tonight. Everybody's on dark out because of the um, Independence Day weekend celebration. But we will be back on the 19th, Saturday the 19th at 9 a.m. Remember, no class today, but we'll be back on the 19th. A shout out to all the wonderful people there. Diana, we have the wonderful, incredible Michelle Franklin,
Yay.
and she's doing a lot of great work there. Look, you got a lot of great people out there, and we want to. That's why we work so hard to get everybody to exercise and to eat properly, because we want you around even longer, and not around struggling, but around feeling great, enjoying life. Put a smile on it. You look so much better, and we have all of the wonderful things that we can choose from to make a life better. So we're so fortunate there. I'm excited about life. You're excited about life? Hit me in the comments and let me know if you're you're thankful for life today. So we take that thankfulness and now let's wrap it up in a wonderful gift called life. We're going to give you some knowledge to go along with that. So let's start off with hidden sugars. Now, when we talk about hidden sugars, we're talking about the sneaky little sweeteners. And these sneaky little sweeteners that we're talking about, they can contain some chemicals that our body isn't really, they don't complement our body, nor do they complement us reaching these goals of being healthy. It's really important that you understand how very reckless sugar can be to your body. So for those of you that say, I've been eating sugar ever since I've been a child. Well, guess what? That's just how sugar works. It works in all kinds of foods that we eat. Things like ketchup, for instance. This is like putting sugar on if you would, use your imagination on that. Many foods containing hidden sugars and the sweeteners that can contribute to overall sugar intake without being immediately obvious. As a matter of fact, the reason that people are really negative or they just can look past taking action for a healthier body is because there's no immediate derogatory results. If you ate something and then you would have some kind of immediate negative or derogatory result, then you would probably not eat that at all because there are so many different sugars and there are so many sweeteners that can do you damage over time. And anhydrous is one of them. The anhydrous dextrose, and then Barbados sugar, malt rather, and then you have the uh, diastatic malt, things you haven't heard of, diataste, ethyl maltin, malto rather, and then you have fructose and fruit sugar. You have the panela and the panocha. All of these are sweeteners. Now you might see these things that's on your ingredients when you're buying these things, but they all come out to be the pretty much the same thing. They result in the same thing, and that's just eating too much sugar. If you are here today, guess what? We want to especially say thank you because we know what you're up against today. And I know that it is so much fun being around family and sharing and eating good food and laughter and all of that. We're about that too. We want you to be about that, but we also want you to be about your health. We want you to make sure that you are sugar free as much as possible. Now, in the last 100 years, the food industry has advanced by leaps and bounds. And today, more than three-quarters of the supermarket shelves are stocked with packaged and processed foods. Hardly anything is fresh anymore, and it's getting bigger. These boxed, canned, and frozen concoctions, they're in most cases they only require boiling or microwaving to become edible. And I remember when I was coming up, and that was a long time ago, where I was a little fella, and I remember my mother would say, "Yeah, get the box, the one that says just add water." And I remember getting these different boxes of whatever she wanted, and it had just add water to it. So it's been a long time that this has been going on as far as taking care of yourself with uh, the fake or those foods that stay on the shelf life for a long time. You want to make sure that you don't get too many of these. This is emergency food. Now, if it's emergency, it's different, but to have it on a daily basis, this is not the healthiest for your body. In total, there are more than 3,000 food chemicals purposely added to your food supply, yet avoiding them is a lot easier and more economical than you might think. Now, you probably already know this, that the rule of thumb is that the best foods to conquer osteoporosis and to stay healthy are unprocessed natural fruit foods, not the foods that with the beautiful packaging, but when you look at what's in them, then you will see exactly what I mean. A synthetic, man-made product, rather than an actual nourishing food. Now, adding insult to injury, many of the staple foods such as potatoes or corn, often used as basic ingredients in host products, have their genetic makeup purposely tampered with, and they may be dangerous to your health. So this is we look at when we look at the food that we eat, this is a science. This isn't just here, just give me that apple that just fell off the tree. Now, there's been ample research on the evolutionary process of humans and their nutritional requirements, and it points to the clear fact that while our nutrition has radically changed, and it's changed since back in the Paleolithic times, our biology really hasn't changed since then. But along came agriculture, and then later on industrial revolution, and with it these man-made chemicals made their way into our dining rooms, into the kitchen, into our lunch boxes. Now, fortunately, as the case with more deception, educated customers are now seeking alternatives, and this is alternatives to these chemical-laden products, in turn forcing for producers to get creative. So they come up with, more often than not, some of the food chemicals that are renamed, and they're less, um, I would say, synthetic names, and then that would be compared to some of the old original names. So when you are eating these foods, or you are pronouncing some of the chemicals that which I'll go over with you before this is all over today, we want to get used to saying these names so it's not such a shock to you, like culture shock. And it is if you go from eating junk out of the box and then say, hey, start getting your stuff from produce, the farmer's market, the farmers. Now, the antioxidants, they actually protect cells from oxidative damage, and some of them are proven potent bone protectors as well. So, isn't it just great for me? I mean, I'm just speaking for myself, to have a great morning where you actually have fresh, raw fruit, not always cooking oatmeal or having fried bacon and eggs and those kinds of things. So it's really great to know that you do have alternatives. Now, if you look at things like rice, whole grain wheat, sugar, oat clusters, toasted oats, canola oil, citric acid. All of these things are for the freshness of the food as it has a shelf life. And some of these things, if you read, for instance, like a yellow number 5, uh, maybe the hydrochloride, things like the niacinamide, zinc oxide, reduced iron, BTH, BHT. All of these things are things that you should be aware of and get more information about it, because after all, you'll be offending your body. And some of the worst offenders would be BHT, like butylated hydroxytoluene. And this common additive used to prevent oxidation in the wide variety of foods and the cosmetics listed by the National Toxicology Program, which is NTP, and I think it was back in 2005 as reasonably anticipated to be a human carcinogen. So the BHT is something that, again, you want to keep out of your body because, again, it's not the healthiest, it's not a nutrient. And these are some of the substances used, again, for health life and to preserve the product. Then there's, of course, high fructose corn syrup, and that's loaded with okay. And that's when it comes to all of um, the sugar is something that we talked about it before, the myopathies and the neuropathies, breaking down the body slowly but surely. And this is what you want to avoid altogether. Yeah, I see that up there now. Good. Thank you. Okay, so let's go ahead. I wanted to go on high fructose corn syrup, also known as HFCS. But then there is also the yellow number 5. And I think I said that earlier. And almost all colorants approved for use of the food are derived from coal tar, and they may up to 10 parts per uh, 10 parts per million uh, of lead and arsenic. So you get those kind of things. You're like, what the hell? It's like arsenic is in partially in the some of the seeds that we like, for instance, apple seeds. And so these things can be dangerous if you not start taking them and roasting them and eating them like that. Of course, you can definitely do damage. But like if you should eat 1 or 2 seeds or something like that, that is not going to be bad. Also, and it's not surprising that the coal tar colors could potentially cause cancer. So the carcinogens are truly abundant when it comes to the I'm going to put that up there just for another moment so you can remember it. Okay, so we talked about some of the worst offenders, but some of the common hidden sugars, I want to go over that with you. You can come back and listen to this, but the common hidden sugars would be the high fructose corn syrup, and this is found in sodas and candies and processed foods. Then we have sucrose, which is regular table sugar, and is present in many of the baked goods and sauces. Then you have glucose, common in syrups and sweetened beverages. And then there's fructose, or fructose, as most people call it, the fructose found in fruit juices and sweetened snacks. Then you see maltose, and you notice that the suffix of all of these is the OSE: fructose, sucrose, glucose, fructose. I think I said fructose, yes. Maltose. These are, and even dextrose. Dextrose often used in processed foods and snacks, and the maltose is present in malted foods and beverages, including some beers. So you have, it's everywhere. So that's why it's important to know what else they're called so that you'll be aware of it. It's just a disguise. So let's look at some of the sneaky sweeteners, like agave nectar. And this is marketed as a natural sweetener, but high in fructose. And then you have honey. While natural, it is still high in sugars. So those that have pre-diabetes, or you concerned with diabetes, you have that throughout your family, you want to make sure that you eat very small amounts of this, period, or not at all. And it takes that that will to overcome some of these things. Maple syrup, which contains sugars similar to table sugar, and then coconut sugar, and it's often perceived as healthier, but it still contains similar sugar levels. And stevia. Now, this is like a natural sweetener that can be found in many products and sometimes combined with other sugars. So it's not usually by itself because it takes more of it. Now, other ingredients to watch, you want to watch the fruit juice concentrates. You want to, oh, well, I should tell you what it is, I guess, but the fruit juice concentrates would often be used in drinks and snacks, and they can be really high in sugar. And then yogurt. Yogurt is kind of like, is like ice cream's cousin or something, as flavored varieties can contain added sugars. Then you have your sauces and your condiments. And I showed you this that hot dog. Now, when you look at that hot dog, what's really in it, the ketchup, barbecue sauce, or salad dressings often are added sugars, and these are usually in most of the um, ingredients especially when it comes to condiments. So just be on the lookout for that. You don't have to be you know like afraid or paranoid, but just make sure that you should be reading the labels carefully, and it can identify these hidden sugars and sweeteners. And most of the time they are on there. Sometimes they may not be on there. You have to even sometimes call and make numbers, do your due diligence, and look for terms like syrup and nectar and any ingredient ending with OSE. And that's how you spot those sugars. Okay, we're going to go back to the wonderful care as we continue here. You're on the Mind of Nature. I'm Dr. Zarif, the nutritionist.
Yes, thank you so much, Dr. Zarif. Thank you to everyone that's joined us here. I noticed that, and I was looking on Facebook. I don't think we are on Facebook for some reason, and on Instagram. So streaming. So that's why I always say, come on over to YouTube because I'm not sure what's going on, but we're gonna keep it rolling. Thank you. Let's see. I'm just going to go ahead and shout out Denise Kane. Hello. She said, I'm very thankful for life. Yes, indeed. That is always a great thing. Thank you so much, Denise. Great to
Yeah.
see you here. You mentioned, Dr. Zarif, ketchup and sugar, maybe sugar and ketchup, right? And I was thinking, I didn't know for a long time that there was sugar in ketchup. I'd just
Yeah.
be putting it on my fries and putting it on my burger and everything else. And that was a surprise to me when I guess that was during the time too when I wasn't reading the labels, because I'm sure there was something in there that indicated that there was sugar in ketchup, but I just didn't catch it. Just didn't know that that's why it was so good.
All right. Yeah, the sugar is really sneaky. That's why I went over those things that I have, like a whole list of different types of sugars and things like buttered syrup. It doesn't say sugar, but butter syrup is sugar. Even when you see fruit juice, did you know that? That's also speaking to the sugar. That's another way to say sugar because it is packed with sugar. And then you have other things that might give you an idea that it's like if you see grape sugar or cherry sugar, all of these are different types of sugar. If you eat watermelon or different types of melon, all of this is sugar. And it's not some of the sugar like this is natural sugar. Well, natural sugar will do the same thing as unnatural sugar. So one is fructose is an exception because fructose is said to have a different reaction pancreatically. So,
Mm,
like the pancreas won't release all the insulin as unless you are eating large amounts of sugar. So, just eating a very small amounts, And those, again, remember, if you're going all through the day eating pie and cake and cookies and donuts and pizza, and I don't even buy ketchup. I start buying some of the things that are like, I don't have a real high tolerance for it, but like spicy foods. I like a little. I'm getting a little spicier. All right. All right. So, yeah, but yeah, the barley malt, of course, cane sugar. As a matter of fact, if you ever check out some of the um, historic or the videos or film that are reporting the history of those brothers and sisters that were slaves, in areas like Brazil, for instance, and other islands. They ate a lot of the sugar cane. They
Yeah.
would actually eat while picking or cutting down, hacking down the sugar cane. But they showed the dent, I don't know where I saw that in school, or I don't know, or a book, but I remember seeing they had all of these photos of the brothers and sisters that had no teeth. They
Hmm.
had all of their teeth had rotted. And
Yeah.
of course, you didn't know, we damn near don't even have dental insurance now. So
Right.
we know what the situation was then.
Yes. I
Yeah.
mean, I can see how they can, get used to that because sugarcane, it is tasty. So I can see how that would happen. But there's a question here from Denise Kane, and
Okay.
it says here, how healthy are juices that have zero sugars on the label?
That's a great question. Thank you. Yeah, it's really slick, really, really slick, because they can say no sugar and they're telling the truth, but they're talking about no table sugar. But what they're not telling you is that there is some other sweetener. So they play games with the word sugar and sweeteners.
Yeah.
It's like to sweeten a sweetener.
Hmm.
Sweet is definitely another sugar, and that's why I wanted to add that even beet sugar. You know how very healthy beets are,
Yes.
but there's beet sugar. Beet is a sweet root, and then you have other things like D-ribose. You have invert sugar. You have isoglucose. These are things you probably like. What the heck is that?
Hmm.
But this tastes good. Panela is another one. Mannose. You have maltose. All of these, galactose. All of these are different names. So when you are buying something, especially be careful of, you have to dilute, especially as it's getting warmer now. Dilute your drinks, because when you just take straight on lemonade or lime juice, or orange juice, even make sure you have ice in there, so that it can dilute it slowly. You're adding more sugar, more water, so that you can dilute the fruit drink,
Right.
because fruit drinks can be packed with sugar.
Hmm.
Any other questions?
No, not at this time.
Okay. Yeah, we're sorry about, we'll have to get in the studio earlier, so that we'll be able to find out exactly why sometimes things are showing up, and other times why they don't. Why can't, so we're just dealing with that. Just be patient with us. It's just a technical thing, and we will take care of that. I want to go ahead and continue on. So we want to start off with the hidden dangers of protein powders. Now, one of the things that I would say, first of all, make sure that you read the labels, because a lot of times when you're looking at these particular foods, it's not giving you an indication of what is inside of these formulas. Now, the protein powders they're powdered forms of protein that come from plants. And the plants like soybeans, peas, rice, potatoes, hemp, these are the plants basically where the protein powders come from. Yeah, and even hemp. I taste hemp, and it tastes like a ground up house shoe with the funk still left in the shoe. Ugh, it was horrible, and it was hard for me to take. The other things, eggs, eggs or milk. You also find that eggs and milk. You really talking about casein, or you also going to read whey protein, and if it says whey protein, or if it says casein, you know that that's going to be usually the source is going to be eggs or milk. Now, the powders may include other ingredients such as added sugars, artificial flavoring, thickeners, vitamins, and minerals. The amount of protein per scoop can vary from 10 to 30 grams per scoop. And most of them really take about 2 scoops to make up about an average of 25 grams. Now, the supplements used for building muscle, they can contain relatively more protein, and supplements used for weight loss contain relatively less. So that's how they'll take the same, the manufacturers, the formula makers of this will start off. Those people that want to get bigger, they'll end up taking more protein, and you have people that are taking mega protein because they think that the body is going to produce huge muscles. But what happens, and you will see, even with a person like Ronnie Coleman, all these people, you remember Arnold Schwarzenegger was just, huge, but your body does and will change. You cannot and you won't be able to, for most people, you might have some exceptions to the rule that are super strong and really big, but it's a lifetime endeavor, and it takes um, a lot of belief in yourself, a lot of commitment. Now, these great big old containers, looks great, and it gives you that feeling of getting big and solid. But over the time, what happens is you find that you become more flatulent. At first it feels like, ooh, I'm growing a little bit. But the thing that really does the most effect on the human body when it comes to being a little larger is eating more food, taking in more calories. And I mean just food. You have people that are serious about this weight gain, or muscle gain, I should say. And they realize that the more that they eat, the better it is, the more that they grow. um, People with dairy allergies or trouble digesting lactose sugar, this is another good thing for you to know, that some people are more severe than others. So you want to make sure that you know exactly what is in your food. Now, the protein pudding, you have people that'll eat all three of these, but the thing that is really important here is that you don't overdo it, because these can definitely be the beginning of disease like diabetes and hypertension and other diseases that will interfere with your daily activity. Now, the thing about the protein powder, it may cause digestive distress, and people with allergies to dairy, or dairy allergies, or digesting or having trouble digesting the lactose. And lactose is the milk sugar, remember the OSE on the end. Can experience the gastrointestinal discomfort if they use a milk-based protein powder. And that's when they have problems with that because of the lactose in that milk-based protein powder. And there's other things. It may be high in added sugars and calories because the last thing they want to do is have someone say, "Ugh, this doesn't taste good." And the more that you eat it, and the creamier it is, or the closer that you get it to the taste of a milkshake, oh man, people really that's the ones that sell the most, and those are the ones that also psych most people out because they actually think that they're getting all this wonderful protein when in fact the body is reacting to that formula like a big milkshake or a malt. Now, some of the protein powders have just little added sugar, and they'll use like something like honey crystals. They'll use stevia. They'll use agave, and, or a mixture of all of these things. And sometimes you'll have, like, as far as the sugar is concerned, you can have as much as 23 grams per scoop. So that's 46 grams if it's 2 scoops. And most of your protein drinks advise you to take 2 scoops, right? That's 46 grams of protein. And then those 2 scoops, that's all that you would need, especially guys, because guys on average would need about an average of 50 grams a day of protein. And uh, ladies would need about 40 grams, about 10 grams less than a man. But we're not sure if you're getting it or not. I would definitely increase that possibility by just getting some of the information that I need to figure out how much sugar am I eating, because it's just really, it's not easy. It's really hard. You got to make sure that like this nonprofit group is called the Clean Label Project. Look them up. And this is, as a matter of fact, you can go on cleanlabelproject.org, and this will give you an idea, or the information there is really great. How could it tell you, like, how could a protein contain so many contaminants? They talk about all the contaminants: the lead, arsenic, the cadmium, the mercury, all of these things. And remember the bisphenol A, the BPA, which is used to make plastic. And even they'll talk about the pesticides and other contaminants. So this is really important, because when it comes to carcinogens, and that is what these substances that have the potential for cancer, this is what we really want to know. We want to know these things. So the daily protein goals, I went over that with you, and the intake for women is about 40 to about 46, and then you have men about 50 to 56 grams per day. And you can get that through, for those of you that eat, I'm just going to give you the food, because it's up to you what you're choosing to put in your body. So like an egg for breakfast, or 6 ounces of plain Greek yogurt. They have this in non-dairy also, and a handful of nuts for a snack, and like about 4 to 7 grams. That's just not a heaping handful, but enough that you can shake them, and then put them on down the hatch. A cup of milk also has 8 grams of protein, and 2 ounces of cooked chicken, for, like, for instance, dinner. You having dinner, that also give you about 14 grams of protein. Now, protein, everybody's always asking about, what about the protein? But we don't need as much as I think we need. I think all of those things since 1941, pushing all of the different foods that were now like frozen dinners, for instance, those kinds of things that were a new introduction to everybody. Get out the hot kitchen. Are you slaving across the, all the stuff they were pushing and pushing it in. And then women start doing things and getting more autonomous than they were before. Now, what should you do? If you have difficulty of eating or impaired appetite as a result of cancer treatment and fertility for older people, this is really important to uh, get these different choices in hand of things that you can eat, like getting your protein in whole foods, the nuts, seeds, the low fat dairy products, cheese. When it comes down to your cheese, like if you were to just, I'm just talking about on the healthy level now, if you were just to stop eating cheese, just cheese, that alone will increase your health expeditiously. It would definitely right away take some kind of effect on the intake of your cheese. You want to reduce that because that can make you really sick and definitely mess up your digestion. It can definitely cause you to be constipated. Cheese is not. I would suggest that you look into that. Do your due diligence. And the reason that I say that so often is because if you see it yourself and you read it for yourself and you experience it for yourself, then you're not looking at me cross-eyed. You did the work, you found out yourself, and there you have it. Okay. And lastly, I want to talk a little bit about eating too much protein. It can be bad for you too. Usually, when you eat, people that overdo it with the protein, the body starts to convert it into ammonia, and that is definitely destructive for the body. In particular, um, the experts say that some daily protein is necessary to maintain overall good health, but they advise that some of that protein should come from plant-based foods. So now you have the experts that are definitely saying get it from your plant-based foods. There are a lot of risks that we take when you're eating beef and pork and chicken and turkey and all that. And all you have to do is look at how these animals are treated before they're slaughtered and then what they do to them to slaughter them. I think you would find that they would in some way impact your opinion about eating meat. And that's all up to you. Okay, let's go back to the one for Care. Care, what you got?
Hey, Dr. Zarif, thank you so much. You mentioned cheese. And I know whenever I would hear people say, whenever they're switching over to becoming plant based, cheese is the one thing that they're going to hold on to and that they keep sneaking back over to have. And I think you mentioned the ingredient earlier. Is it casein?
Yes.
Yes. So that is one
Yes.
of yes.
Or some people say casein. This is just pronounced. But go ahead.
Motto, right? But that is the ingredient that I've heard that is in cheese that makes it or causes it to be somewhat addictive, and people they just can't like pull away from eating cheese.
Yeah, the casein has a lot to do with the taste, and is definitely see is good. I'm glad you brought that up because it's good to look at like so not only say casein, what is casein? Well, find out what it is by doing your due diligence, reading up on it. Especially with those of you with children or the babies, they love the cheese, and these are things that some cheese or those cheese slices or that fake out cheese, it has sugar in it. It has the cheese flavor in it. It has the oil in it, and it has the salt in it. And those are the SOS is what we want to avoid: salt, sugar, salt, oil, and sugar.
Right.
So yeah, that's a good question. That people do get addicted to some of these ingredients that are hiding and sneaking, uh, like they're on their own. But you know what I mean,
Right.
tiptoeing into your diet,
Yes.
and that's what we want to make sure that we get rid of. All
Mhm.
right. Okay. So, welcome everybody. This is Mind of Nature, and we're three-quarters through our presentation today. Carolyn Agento is in the house along with myself, Dr. Zarif, and I really want you all to. Did I just say you do that?
No, I went like that.
Oh, I said, oh, she's
It's
cool.
like I can do that too, but
Yeah, that's cool. Right. So with the cheese, Carolyn, have you ever? I know you don't eat that cheese now unless it's plant based food, but there was actually a time that you ate the cheese.
oh yeah, for sure. Yes, I certainly did, and I understand the craving for it. You know, so it's not that I'm saying I can't believe that they can't let go of the cheese. I love the cheese too, but
The
um,
cheese, that's cracking me up.
the cheese.
The cheese.
But there are plant-based cheese now that they taste just like regular cheese. Now they've
Right.
done a really great job with making you comfortable on the other side, I should say. Yes.
Yeah, that again, and people don't overdo it with anything. Don't
Yeah.
overdo it with anything because that's one thing. Sometimes people get, and I say people, I'm just talking about folks in general. Our behavior is that when we say, "Oh, this cheese is," it doesn't have any animal products in it, or it doesn't have any milk. It doesn't have any butter fat in it. So what they say, this is good for you, and good to them means you can eat as much as you want of it,
Right.
and,
Exactly.
and those two things aren't the same.
That's true. That
All
is
right.
true.
Okay. All right. Who do we have? We have any of I know this thing today, you can't tell what's what, but who when you come in, we still appreciate you.
Hmm.
We appreciate you being here, and we're going to go ahead. We'll get this thing done. It's just whenever you're doing anything that's really worth something, when you have value in it, you have to stick with it, and it always doesn't happen exactly the way you want it to. Now, you got a lot of people that actually um, get upset about things, and they take it out on whomever the person is. But when it comes down to it, it's on you when you're getting upset about something because it only means that things didn't turn out the way that you imagined them to. So all of this is a part of being a balanced, healthy person.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and go. I'm going to give a shout out to the Gento family and all the beautiful people, Mr. and Mrs. Gento, and all the wonderful people in the Zarif family.
Mhm.
And I want to say hello to all my cousins and all of my uncles and all of my the wonderful people, and also those people that have become incredible friends over the years. So, and again, I stopped to do that not to get off a subject, but that is a part of our balance also, and
Mhm.
that's loving each other and acknowledge the family, and this is that time of season, like Independence Day is. What do you think about? You think about outside cookout and family.
Yeah, the park, the lake, you know,
Yes,
the
yeah.
the the vegan burgers and hot dogs on the
Woo.
grill.
Don't start nothing, it won't be nothing.
Let's do it. Woo!
Yes, indeed. Well, let's go ahead and get into some of the multiple vitamins and minerals. And I want to start with, according to some of the surveys that I've read lately, some of the essential vitamins and minerals were lacking. Most were like magnesium, iron, and vitamins D, E, K, C, and A. Now, A, D, E, and K, all of those are fat solubles, but vitamin C, that's a surprise because this is a very abundant vitamin. So, according to these surveys, the essential vitamins that are lacking when you see vitamin C, that's really a big surprise. So that means this that food or that product is void of nutrients, and especially nutrient vitamin C. Now, why is this important? The reason that it's important is ignoring your nutritional needs over time, combined with our typically less than healthy modern lifestyles. And ultimately, it can have a significant impact on the way that you feel and you uh, uh, hold and what actually holds you back from living your life. You don't want to get tripped up in eating things that keep you sick and increase um, your chances or your risk of sickness, illness, disease, infection. Now, I'm just going to give you some of the things, potential signs for a vitamin deficiency. The potential signs for vitamin deficiency would be brittle, weak hair and nails, fatigue and low motivation, thinning hair, um, feeling run down, brain fog and feeling sluggish, feeling weak, muscle issues and frequent headaches, regularly feeling cold, chills, and I feel cold a lot of times, but I don't have any deficiencies. And also the skin issues like dryness. I want to go back up to Care. Care, what do you think about this? This sounds like, I don't want to say it, but it sounds like a lot of female signs that females would be interested in.
Yes, I mean, you mentioned feeling cold
Yes.
all the time.
Yeah.
Um, mm, I feel like that's one of those things that I've dealt with. Always wanting them. Whenever I leave out, it's funny. Whenever it's hot, I still make sure I have something that I'm able to cover with. I don't know if that comes from my dad or what, but that is something that I'm used to doing. Um, Thinning of the hair, that may be something as well. Um, so yeah, I can relate with some of those things that you mentioned. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Um, as we continue, the possible multivitamin benefits. Now, everybody doesn't take the multivitamins because some people say, no, I don't need those." But there is proof and there's evidence that some vitamin and minerals, especially the supplements, help to support healthy aging and longevity, supports immune health, supports energy levels, and helps to also prevent different other nutritional deficiencies, mood and mental clarity, supports healthy hair and skin, enhances overall sense of wellness, and supports the eye, brain, and heart health. So it is important that we get these foods in our body and continue to eat the foods that are healthiest for us. Now, there's definitely things like a checklist that you know, like you want to look at the supplements, the pills per serving. You want to make sure that you have clear, accurate labeling, and you want to have a third party lab tested this is people that's really serious about finding out what they're taking, and they'll even hire labs to look at what they're if there's a possibility that there are certain nutrients in the food and how or the supplement in this case, so that you'll know exactly what you're taking in. Now, some of the popular ingredients to look for in multivitamins and minerals would be vitamin D3. Now, this recommended form of vitamin D is vitamin D3 or cholecalciferol. Now, I know you know that. Remember cholecalciferol because we had a lot of debate about that. But vitamin D3 is used to support the immune system and bone health. And then you have vitamin B12. And this is really important. It's also called cyanocobalamin. And this is a vitamin that supports your nerve health and energy levels and more. And most vitamin or multivitamins contain vitamin B12 in a methylcobalamin form, or it's also a methyl B12 because it is thought that to be the most uh, easily absorbed to our bodies. So the methylcobalamin and the methyl B12 is what some of the better multivitamins, those at least that considers the absorption of vitamin B12. Zinc is important because it can help to maintain a healthy immune system, skin health, and much more. It's generally found in the to be the lower in elderly adults. So as you get older, instead of your liver or a lot of times your muscles absorbing and storing these vitamins or these nutrients, a lot of times when you get older, the body doesn't hold as much. That's why people, if you once you're over 40 years old, you got to start really paying attention because 50 gets there so fast it makes your head spin, and then you start getting you 60, and then you go into your 70s and up. Now there are a lot of people from your 70s all the way into your hundreds, and they're really powerful. We are not, um, we are not immortals. We are mortal. We will die, uh, and we will get older, and we will get things that we didn't ever think that we would get, and things that we face. But on the other hand, you do and you can make life better by making better choices, and that is to choose the foods that keep your body healthy. I'm going to go right on into the some of the laws that protect the health. But before I do that, Care, what do you think about what you heard so far? The checklist, knowing about the pills per serving and clear, accurate labeling. I know you do really good with. I know there's been a lot of times that you would even remind me of. Let's double check that the label, and that's really great. So, what do you think about what you just heard?
Well, I think checking the labels, that's like the fundamentals to me. And I know it sounds weird because you've been doing this forever, but I don't know. For me, I don't know if it's one of those things where it's like I may be a little over. I don't know what's the word. Like I'm too much into reading.
Oh, fastidious.
Okay, that's it. I'll go with that. But the labels for me, and I think what's happened is I don't like when I'm eating something. I think you mentioned this last week. You were eating something and you were like, "Oh, this is so good. It's got to have milk or something like that in it." You
Oh yes, the ice cream.
Yeah, yes. So for me, it's like I don't like when I'm eating something and I probably didn't do what I should have done, which is read that label. But then I start eating and I'm like, oh my goodness, this is so good. You kind of like pull back from it, like, mm. And I don't want to turn the label around because I feel like I'm going to be disappointed because
Boy, oh, you're high.
yes, something is in there that that I just didn't want to be in there because it was so good. And it's not to say again that plant-based food is not good, because it is. It's delicious, but you have those things that still creep back in, like the
Yeah.
cheese and the milk, that that you're trying to stay away from, but it tastes so good too. So, yes,
Yeah.
the labels, you got to read the labels. It's an ongoing thing. It's never going to stop.
Here's the thing. I'm just wondering. I mean, is all the rest of the world just nice and that we can trust in them, or do we have to investigate despite it being on the label?
Oh my goodness. I mean, I'm just gonna go with what can be controlled, and that is reading the labels. To go into the investigating and putting some kind of other, you know, uh, investigation on it. It's like I don't have the power to do that. So I'm gonna go with what's being put on the label, and if it says it doesn't have any animal products in there, bam, that's what I'm going with.
I see. I see. Okay, that's great. And it's good. It's good to have the boundaries, but it's good to remember. A lot of times when you're looking at certain foods or on the labels, there's an 800 number there for more information.
True.
So if you just look a little right into, there's a lot of writing. Like for instance, see all this writing on here, and
Right.
this is water.
Right. And I was gonna say that's water.
And that's water. So if this is just water, you want to know exactly like what else, what are you putting in your body? So getting everybody up, and I hear you loud and clear, not to become fanatical about it, but it is good to have a go-to when, especially like if your child is eating something and breaks out from it,
Mm-hmm.
or your spouse or anybody that like a loved one should have a problem because they're eating a muy queso. It's just too. It should be something that they can control, or something that they can find out, or they can play the guessing game, going to and fro the different hospitals and clinics and all that.
Yes.
But that's another thing that is very important. Even when you have the best doctor, sometimes you want to get that second opinion.
Yeah.
See what another doctor thinks. And it's no, I know I'm mostly everybody's favorite nutritionist, but
You are.
I think, thank you. I think that it's good to, you can check the things that I'm sharing with you against, the things that your doctor is saying. And you'll see that the things that I am sharing with you has a lot of weight.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay. So we're going to go ahead and wrap it up right here. Carrie, this has been another fantastic, fantastic uh, presentation. We want to remind everybody on the 19th, Saturday, the 19th of July, Saturday, the 19th of July, we're going to be working out at Mount Tabor Missionary Baptist Church starting at 9 a.m. And we're going to be there until 11 a.m. Now, we want you to be on time because it's the knowledge flowing and then getting your body in shape. This is for those people that want to work out, and it's especially for those people that don't think that they can do it at all. The ones that like, I ain't doing that, man. I don't feel like.
Mm-hmm.
We really need you because you're
We
gonna end up, regretting that.
do.
And we don't want you to have any regret in life. So please join us at Mount Tabor Missionary Baptist Church. It's going to be a great time. Come on down, meet Michelle Franklin and Diana and all the other wonderful people. Pat throws down, and then we have Ruth and more people that right off the top of my mind. But I want you, oh yeah, and those people that we haven't seen in a long time, come on back. I know that some people, we're not even close to where we used to, work out and all that, because we know when you stay away from the workout for a long time, it's hard getting back into that rhythm.
Mm-hmm.
We understand that, but anything beats a zero.
Yes.
Come in and you do it little by little. That's better than not doing it at all. That's better than staying on that couch and working a remote. That's better than staying in your car and eating that carry out whatever you eating.
Right.
See? So let's go ahead and change the behavior. And when we change the behavior, we can change the mind. Nothing changes until you change. You want to bring us pass it on over to Carolyn before we get out of here?
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Denise Kane, saying enjoyable show today. Thank you so much.
Yay.
And thank you for joining us again. We are just so appreciative of everyone that comes on and drops comments and just lets us know that they're there. And they're supporting us. We support you back. So thank you so much. Again, go ahead and subscribe if you have not to Dr. Farid Zarif YouTube page. Dr. Zarif, back to you.
I'm Dr. Zarif saying thank you. I'm the nutritionist.